Okay.
Guys.
Hi. First of all, let's just start off by apologizing by how bad our computer qualities are, because this literally looks like it was filmed on a Nokia. But anyway, that's besides the point. We are in about week 7,000 of lockdown slash quarantine slash America is falling to shit. So we decided that we're going to record a podcast. And if you didn't listen to our intro, I am Gabi.
And I'm Kati. This is our podcast. For all records, if you're listening and you're not watching this on YouTube, you can't really tell. But we're actually filming this on Zoom, of all places.
Yeah, because we got the bright idea to not. Well, first of all, Kati, why don't you explain why we're recording this in different places? Where are you currently?
I'm in New York right now. Where are you, Gabi?
I'm in California. Kati she's from New York. She was here for a while. She went back. She's gonna come back eventually, but for now she's still there. And so we got the bright idea to record a podcast while she's still over there. So this is how we're gonna have to do it.
And we just decided that we really just need to get it out there. We had to stop thinking of our ideas and actually start producing them. So here we are.
Yeah, we FaceTime almost every day, and those FaceTimes usually end up in pretty in-depth conversations about literally nothing, but they're really interesting. So we're like, why don't we just record it and put it out in the world? So that being said, what is today's topic, Kati?
Time travel. We're going to talk about places we would travel to in the past, why we want to travel to the future, and places we would travel to in the present or time periods we would travel to, just everything. Time travel.
Yeah. Along with that topic, again, why am I holding my hand? If you didn't listen to the intro, this podcast, the title of it, Uncategorized, is literally anything, everything, anything that comes in our minds and we just say it, it's going to be on our podcast. So that's why we're talking about time travel today. My air conditioning is about to turn on and that shit's so loud. So I'm sorry the audio is messed up. Okay, let's start. Kati, why don't you hit us up? What time period would you travel to first?
I always wanted to travel to the 1920s. And every single time I think about it, I'm like, the Roaring 20s. It was so cool. The start of women's suffrage, which sucks because that was the start of it. So do you really think women had a lot of rights? Absolutely not. So do I think I would survive in the 1920s? Probably not. But think about the Roaring 20s, like the flappers, just like the way people dressed and like the things that they did. I don't know. The 1920s is exactly where I would go in like the past.
And so far in the year 2020, we've gotten all of the Great Depression, like recession area of the 1920s.
Yeah, and we're getting back to like people not having their human rights.
Yeah, that old thing.
Going back to our roots.
That's for another podcast. So why? Why would you go back there? What entices you about it?
I really just like, I don't know, historically, just reading about it, people like dancing the Charleston and stuff like that. And it's like, why can't I just do that now? Because now a lot of people don't do that stuff. It would just be me by myself. People would be like, you look weird doing that. And I would probably agree with them because I'd be alone doing it. I have to go to a time period where they're constantly doing it. Women finally got to wear their little skimpy dresses, which, I mean, I could just do that now. But flappers don't really exist now. It's more like strippers and go-go dancers, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Go-go dancers are more like the 70s, huh?
Which brings me to my time period.
Of course you would choose the 70s. You would choose the 70s.
I am obsessed with the 1970s. Everything about the whole hippie flower power era, it was just like the whole decade was just like who I am as a person. And I love everything about it. I love that everyone was just high all the time and just like having a ball. Of course, there was some dark parts, but that's all of history.
Yeah, even now, like people, if they're like, yeah, I would travel to the 2020s. Those people seem so cool. Look at Gen Z or whatever. Look at TikTok that probably doesn't exist in like 100 years from now. Watch TikTok exist 100 years from now.
People like our grandchildren looking back and be like, wow, I want to go to 2020.
Yo.
You don't. Oh my God. The amount every month brings a new like shit show. I have never experienced in my life a year that is more eventful than this year. Like, sweet baby Jesus.
You're right. But also, I think part of it is that now we're more aware of what's going on.
This is true.
Just think about it. You think a lot of things didn't happen when you were 8? They probably did, but what do you remember?
That's I literally saw a TikTok today that was like, okay, so it was like a like, not to get political in this podcast episode, but it's like a Republican saying to like a Democrat or like a liberal or whatever, and they're like, oh, so why didn't you say anything about Obama's presidency and all that? And I was like, it was like, because I was 8 when he was president. Like,
I have seen that like all over Twitter. Like, why didn't you stand up for Black Lives Matter 15 years ago? Like, yo, I was 5, 6.
Like, bitch, what? I barely could wipe my ass. I was still wetting the bed. You understand?
And for those of you who don't know, Gabby was actually still wetting the bed. Until she was like 10.
Listen. I had a bladder infection for a very long time, and I got on medication, and it fixed it, okay? But I wet the bed for too long.
Right. So now I'm curious as to when you would travel back to in your present life. Only time that you have existed. So like between when you were born to not even a year ago. It can't even be last year. Like it has to be like before 2018. Okay. So when you were born to 2018, when would you travel to and why?
That's a good question. Good job, Kati. Wow, people are going to think we're what we're doing.
People are going to be watching this and be like, this is probably staged. And it's like, no, this is the only one that's not staged.
It's nice of you to assume that people are going to watch this. That's generous of you. Let me see. From when I was born till 2018, I think I would go back, on a more serious note, I would go back to 2015 because that was the year that my parents split up. It was my freshman year of high school, and I felt like the world was falling apart. And I would just like
good times.
Good times, man. I would just like to, kind of calm her down a bit. Tell her, for one, that she's not fat. And, that would have solved a whole lot of issues that came later on. And just tell her that it'll be okay. That, the whole thing with your parents is it's gonna turn out all right, probably even better than when they were together. So I think I would go back to 2015 just to kind of tell myself that as shitty as my life seemed at that point, it wasn't. There's a really good quote, and I don't know who says it. It might be Louis Tomlinson. I'm sorry for quoting a One Direction band member, but he said, it's not, I actually don't even know if this is his quote. It's just something he said. It's not a bad life, it's just a bad day. Which I'm trying really hard to live by. That's so good advice, like your whole life isn't shit just because you're going through something in that moment,
Yeah, I read this other one that kind of goes along with it, and hold on while I Google how many seconds in a day, unless you know that off the top of your head. Yeah, I think it's more than 3,000.
You're Googling how many seconds in a day.
Okay, there's 86,400 seconds in a day. Okay, but the quote is something like this, like, okay, let's just say that you take, you have $86,400, okay, and you lose like 500 of them. How much of a difference is that going to make? And so it was basically like, don't throw away your whole day just because you lost a part of it due to something bad. Like, don't think the whole day is going to be horrible just because a little piece of it was bad. Because when you have money, you got money.
You got money, man. This kind of ties in. We were talking about this over FaceTime, maybe yesterday, maybe 2 days ago. But it's like, we were saying how, like, because at work, you experienced someone that was, like, having a bad day and they were, like, being mean to you. And then they were like, sorry, I just had a really shit day. And then we were talking about, like, you can have a shit day, but, like, you don't have to bring that energy to other people and, like, continue. Like, if you're having a bad day, but you're choosing to, like, stay angry and upset about it, you're just making yourself more miserable. Like, you're not helping anything,
Yeah, you're just, like, stuck in the moment. When I almost said you're stuck in a Mormon, like, no, you're stuck in the moment.
You're stuck in a Mormon.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Okay. So what country would you travel from? You're The day you were born till 2018.
I know I had all this time to think about this. Like, since I asked you the question to now, and I'm still thinking about it. So, like, I don't think I would go to before I was 12 because my life was just.
Oh, no.
Up until, I would probably go to when I was 12.
Okay.
Probably right when I was 12. And there's many reasons for this. And part of it is that that's the year that I moved to California. And I would just tell myself, like, the first mistake I created was that I was supposed to move in December. So I was literally like right before turning 12. So like my birthday's in January. It was December when I was like, I'm gonna move to California. I would tell myself, nobody's gonna think you're stupid for moving halfway through the year. And if they do, they're just not worth it. They're not worth your time or energy. The second thing is that I would like, so the first one is that I would tell myself to do it sooner because I ended up moving that summer. So that I was like, nobody, like, people are gonna think I'm weird and like, I don't know, like whatever. Like I was too in my head about it.
Oh my God.
The other part is that that's the year that I started to make actual genuine friends. That's the year I met you. That's the year
you met me, but we didn't become close friends until later in our lives.
But in my defense, I thought you hated me and I thought you were weird.
Okay, the last statement is true. I am very weird.
And I've mentioned this to you before.
You love me in spite of it.
Yes, but here's the thing. Like, it wasn't just that I thought you were, like, weird. I wasn't like, ooh, she's, like, the weird girl. I was like, yo, she's weird. Like, but, like, intimidatingly weird. Like, she has friends and she's weird. How does she do it type thing? Because I felt like I was weird and I didn't have friends. But Gabby was out here talking about cat herpes.
I swear on my life, I do not remember this. I don't remember that conversation at all. She swears that, what is it? Say it. You say it. I don't even know it.
It was like you and Grace, and you guys were like sitting there talking about like cat herpes, cat HIV, like STDs with cats, basically, is what was going on. And like, I barely knew what a herpes was when I was 12.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. First of all, I'm going to defend myself. Because we were in the 5th grade, okay?
You were in the 6th grade.
I was in the 6th grade, okay? Everyone's weird in 6th grade.
You're absolutely right.
Second, I don't remember this conversation.
That was my first impression of you, was this girl is talking about cat herpes. I gotta go.
Okay, but look at us now. So you're welcome.
Now we could talk about cat herpes and it's
I know. But we didn't actually become close friends until my like junior year of high school.
Yep, it's when we were on SA together.
It's not that we like didn't like each other. We just didn't really talk that much. We didn't have a lot of the same circles.
It was when you were in 8th grade and I was a freshman that we started to actually become like closer friends, which was weird because you were still at like the elementary school and I was like in the high school and whatever. But it was mostly because of Josh, because Josh liked hanging out with you guys and I liked hanging out with Josh. So there was that. But yeah, no, just like.
Yeah, but then junior year of high school hit and we were like, we're best friends.
Yep, and then that was my senior year. No, it was my junior year, your sophomore year. The same year that you chose to like talk to yourself. But yeah, it was that year because that's when we were on SA together. Then when I was a senior and you were a junior, that's when like we became really, really good friends and we started getting ideas. Then when I went to college and you were in your senior year, that's when we were like, we're gonna be roommates.
Oh, that kind of, you said we started getting ideas. That sounds like we're a couple. Which is another thing. I think since we became really good friends, there hasn't been a time when people have not wondered if we were a couple.
Yep. And it's like, honestly, guys, we literally do not touch each other. Like, we absolutely.
I think I can count the amount of times that I have hugged Kati on one hand, and I've known her since I was like 11.
Yep. It's been a long friendship and lack of.
We take naps together. Okay, when she was here, we were roommates, but even when we weren't roommates, we would take what we called our TikTok naps. So it's like when we didn't have anything to do for like an hour or two out of the day. So I would go to Kati's room. We would go on TikTok. I would always fall asleep on this little twin bed, and we would not touch. There was like a barrier. in between, because that's fucking gross. I don't want to touch you. Nothing against you. I just don't want to touch you.
Yeah, Gabby and I do not like touching each other. We'll touch other people. Other people will touch us, but we cannot touch each other. And when we do, it's like very aggressive. It's very like us like pushing each other into the middle of the street while traffic's coming on.
Yeah. But you know, here's the thing. One, I'm actually a very like kind of touchy person with other people. Like I like hugging people when I greet them. I like you know, but with you, it's like, ooh.
It's like, oh no. Like I'm the same way because physical touch is one of my like top 2 love languages.
Yeah, it's my second one. My first is quality time.
And I absolutely hate it when it comes from you. I'm like, ooh, it's Gabby though. Like I don't know. We don't even hug when it's like sentimental or anything. Like we touch mostly on accident.
Yeah, honestly,
like,
then it's kind of like, ooh.
Yeah, or like when we're like filming something, like very specific. Like the time that we were doing those like roommate series, the one where we're like, and they were roommates, and then it'd be like you clawing my hand in half. I have the video.
I'm sorry, what? Are you describing a fever dream? What was this?
No, it's real. It's in my camera roll. I have a whole section. It's titled "Just Roommate Things." Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, they're probably not even going to be able to see that. But those are our hands.
I can't even see it.
Yeah, I can't even see it. Anyway, those are our hands. That's us. You're holding my hand. It's like this. Okay.
Oh, I actually know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the one where we didn't touch, but like you had your lanyard on, and I walked you with your lanyard. There's us brushing each other's teeth.
We did that a lot, and our other friend Meadow, she was staying with me last week because
you guys brush each other's teeth?
No, we didn't. But she had her friend, also my friend Lucy, with her. I don't know. Should we be saying actual people's names? No one's gonna watch this shit. Why?
And if they do, like, do they really care? Like, we're not using like. It doesn't matter.
Anyway,
everything's fine. Nobody's gonna search us and be like, ooh, and that's who they were talking about. Like, it's not like we're talking shit.
Anyway.
Well, unless you're about to start talking shit.
No. There's literally not even a point to. Okay, anyway. Meadow and Lucy were staying with me last week because our college was almost on fire, so they had to evacuate. I live not that far, so they live in SoCal, so they stay with me for a few days. Anyway, one night we're getting ready for bed. And it dawned on me that Kati and I used to brush each other's teeth. We used to brush each other's. Jesus, I'm having a stroke. We used to brush each other's teeth so much that people started like recognizing that we did that, because Meta would be like, "Oh yeah, Kati and Gabby brush each other's teeth all the time." And then she was like, "Lucy, do you want to try?" And Lucy was like, "Nah." And I was like, do we really do it that often? Is that?
We did it a couple times. There's one time where we recorded it, is the thing.
Ah, I see. Honestly, do I recommend that you brush your best friend's teeth? Yeah. It's a different level of closeness that you're not going to get unless you reach it there.
Yeah, Gabby and I have just a different level of closeness that a lot of people won't get to, because we do a lot of weird shit.
All the time.
Yes.
All the time.
But then there's other friendships that I know succeed ours just because they do touch.
Yeah, but I just can't fathom that.
You know what I don't like? Those people who are like, yeah, we're best friends, but like they're definitely not in a relationship. It'd be like us two, okay? And then like the reason I think about this is because of like Tana Mojo. Anyway, she's always like making out with like Bella Thorne and then saying that's her best friend, but then she also says that's my girlfriend. Anyway, that's a whole different story. And this was also like not recently. It was pretty recent, like within the past like year and a half or so. But anyway, people who are like, that's my best friend, and then they're like making out. I'm like, how do you make out with your best friend? And
no,
I need to know. I just need to know because we don't even touch.
That's bullshit. Because if that's actually your best friend and you have only platonic feelings for them, you're not gonna do that shit.
Like, it just concerns me.
I don't understand people like, oh yeah, and then we just like made out for fun. Like, what? What are you talking about? That's so weird. Also, I just realized that this entire episode is definitely not about time travel.
Should we go back to time travel? Is that what we're gonna do?
Well, let me reel it in. Let me reel it in with this, okay? The whole point of this podcast is for it to be like a FaceTime call. Okay. It's for it to just be like so we'll say that this episode is about a certain topic, but that's the starting topic. So that's what we're gonna start the conversation about, and it's just gonna blossom, you know?
But then eventually we have to come back full circle. So I know exactly how we want to end it, but we have to like, there's going to be a trigger word that's going to be like, oh, you know, that's where we're going to end it on like time travel again. Like we started off with the topic, but we should also end it with the topic.
Cyclical. I like it.
But like, like what I want to do is like at the end, we're going to talk about like time travel for the future, like what we want to see and shit like that. But we gotta
give away the ending.
We still have.
Yeah.
Like
for the only people watching, which is probably going to be you and me when we upload this. Thanks for.
You think we're gonna watch this? We're not even gonna watch it.
I'm not even gonna watch it.
You think we're gonna watch this? No.
If you're here's a question around time travel. You're you in the future. You're married, you have kids, you're living your life, you're doing what you want with your life, okay? You have
so I'm 26.
Yeah. You have the option of coming back to one major event that happened in 2020 for a few days. Which one major event do you come to? Obviously, COVID has to be one because it's been the whole fucking year. But besides that,
one event that has already happened or one event that's supposed to happen in 2020?
Whichever you want.
Because like one event that, I don't know, this is just me, but like if I had to go back to 2020 to see like one event, it would probably be the election.
I was going to say that too.
But we're not at the election yet. So I'm like, I don't know if I would really want to see the election.
I was going to say, okay, here's the thing. I would say the election, depending on how it turns out. But
I feel like even if it didn't turn out, like, I don't know, it would probably be one of the debates before the election. Just because I would want some comedy shit. Like this last debate was kind of fun. Oh. It was stupid, but it was kind of, there's some iconic quotes.
Oh, definitely. Joe Biden already made merch out of some of his quotes. He made merch that same night. Anyway, so you would go back to the election.
Maybe. Either that or like, let's see, January, February, nothing really happened. Well, okay.
That was just quarantine. That was like lockdown.
No. Things did happen. It was just pre-quarantine, so it felt like nothing happened. But like January, February was like, Kobe died and
that's so sad.
And like World War III almost happened. Like I want to be part of that conversation. I want to be part of that conversation. I want to know who said what. I want to know why it was said. I want to know that stuff. But if it was just like me in my own body, like having to go back to like 2020 and seeing something happen, it would probably be the very start of COVID.
Yeah.
In America. Because I know COVID started before everywhere else, but not in America. So probably like that March 14, March 15 day.
Oh, yeah. I think.
Just to see all the toilet paper be gone.
Dude, what the fuck was that? Here's my thing. How much do you remember that? There's so much toilet paper.
Dude, even now, like there's toilet paper at Walmart, at least the one that I'm working. There's never paper towels. There's no Lysol.
Oh,
there's no cleaning product. They just start, it's literally like they'll put out the disinfectant wipes for like 4 days. Sorry, they'll put out the disinfectant wipes in like 4 hours, they're all gone. Not 4 days. 4 days is more like the paper towels. The paper towels will last maybe 4 days.
Yeah. Well, every time I go to freaking Target, first of all, I live in a town of 60,000 people, okay? 66,000 to be exact. Every time I go to Target here, there are absolutely no Clorox wipes, no toilet paper, no paper towels to this day. It's freaking October 6th, okay? To this day, there is still no toilet paper. I just have a question at the start of all of this, when the heat of the whole pandemic, like quarantine, lockdown, everyone's like, we're all going to die. This is going to become an apocalypse type thing, you know, was happening. What was going through people's minds that they said, I need to get toilet paper?
Like, here's my thing, right? And I want to go to like the whole population thing, okay? I live in a population with not even 15,000 people, okay? It's less than 15,000 people. The exact number was like 14,863 or some shit, right? Okay. And even then, at the start of the pandemic, there was nothing. In the middle of the pandemic, nothing. Now that we're like, hopefully towards the end of the pandemic, I don't know, maybe we're just in the middle. You know how like, this is going to be kind of off topic, but I'm going to go back. But you know how people are like, oh yeah, I'm having a midlife crisis. Like, first of all, you don't know when you're going to die. So you don't know when you're going to have your midlife crisis. So what makes me think I didn't have my midlife crisis when I was 17 and I'm going to die at 34?
Okay, that's just what you want to happen.
Anyway, back to it, right? I don't know what was going through people's minds that they were like, ooh, yes, toilet paper.
Like, how much do you think you're going to be shitting that you didn't know that toilet paper?
There was, like, hurricanes and stuff like that, like Florida area and stuff like that, where they're like, oh, yeah, we're having hurricanes. Even they don't, like, sell out of toilet paper. No, they sell out of water.
Yeah.
Water is gone. Okay, but you ever heard of, like, there's no toilet paper in Florida? No.
No. But the thing, like, I do remember, obviously, grocery stores in general were, like, really, like, you can only take, like, 2 things of bread or, like, 1 case of water and stuff like that.
Because there was no bread, there was no water, there was
because everyone was taking everything. But that stuff I get. Like, water and bread, if you don't know how long you're not going to be allowed to leave your home, I get that, okay? But toilet paper? First of all, 1 pack of toilet paper already comes with, like, what? 8?
Well, it depends on the pack. So, like, Angel Soft comes with, like, 12. Cottonelle comes with, like,
how
18.
many each pack comes with. Anyway, they each of them come with, like, a good amount of toilet paper in it. But the fact that people thought that they would just be shitting out of their minds that they needed, like, 5 of these 12-pack toilet papers, okay? 60 total. 60 rolls. They thought that that's how many they needed.
There was that one guy that tried to return because he bought like 135 packages of toilet paper. Packages? Is that the thing? Packages? I just say like a thing of toilet paper. I don't really say like
packs. Sure. Who cares?
Yeah. So like he bought 130 something odd packages of toilet paper. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to return these because I realize now the mistake that I made. Okay, let's just say 6, right? Okay, 135 by 6 is 810. If you're divided by 365, okay, if you're using 1 roll of toilet paper every single day, you would have enough toilet paper to last you 2.21 years. 2.22 years, okay?
That's, screw my other answers. I want to go and talk to those motherfuckers. I want to talk to the motherfuckers that bought 60 packs of toilet paper and see what they're doing with their lives. The ones that literally thought the world was going to end. Granted, there was a few days of, this might be it, you know? But the ones that literally thought we were in the end times, that the apocalypse was about to happen, everything was going to become anarchy and zombies were going to start popping out of the ground. I want to talk to the people that stocked their house up to the brim with like cans and just everything. All those like rednecks, they were like, I got my guns ready for when they come take my toilet paper. Look, I want to talk to them.
When they take my toilet paper.
I want to talk to them. First of all, here's my other thing. My family did not do the whole everyone stock up as much as you can on anything. We bought a lot of groceries for like that first few weeks because you weren't really allowed out of your house at all at that point. Where was I going with this? I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, I was gonna be funny.
You were talking about your family and how you guys only bought like a limited amount. You didn't like bulk buy.
I don't remember what my point was. Oh. Oh well.
R.I.P. Gabby's point.
Okay. It'll probably come back to me when it's irrelevant.
Well, anyway, like my family just like honestly, it's bad to say, but it's not like we didn't take the pandemic seriously. It's that we don't have the funds to be both buying everything. I remember the one day where we didn't have I had toilet paper. I had one roll of toilet paper. It's my emergency roll. Okay, it's actually right here. Yeah, it's right there. Okay, and I keep it there. Mostly, I use it to clean my AirPods. That's a different story. But we didn't have any toilet paper in this house. And I remember my family was like, we have to go find some. We had to go to literally, I kid you not, 7 different stores to be able to find one thing of toilet paper. Just one. And you know what? It only brought 3 rolls. 3, 6.
And I bet it was not a really shitty kind too.
It was really shitty. Yeah. And it literally costed us $10.
$10?
Mm-hmm. And we got it at Save-A-Lot. Of all places. Save-A-Lot.
Oh, man.
Also, on a side note, just so you know, we only have approximately 7 minutes left.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Wow, that just flew on by now, didn't it? Okay.
So I want to talk about, well, what were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to say, I missed that point in quarantine when everyone was like breaking bread and like kind of just like, oh yeah, I'm going to take this time to better myself. And I'm going to make my own bread. And nobody did any of that shit. We all just gained like 20 pounds and looked like this. I haven't gotten ready in months.
I get ready for work like
I don't leave my house. I don't leave my house.
I leave my house too much.
I don't. At all. First of all, if you were here, I would probably leave my house. But none of my like good friends live in this town. I have online school. There's literally no reason for me to leave this house. And I haven't for the past 6 months.
I mostly just like leave the house, like mostly just to go to work. That's the main reason. And since I'm already at work, I go and I do my grocery shopping. Or I actually like, since I work in online grocery pickup, I actually go and I pick up, like, I order things from the website and I go pick them up like later. Like I'll have, I will get off work at 2 and I will pick up my groceries at 6.
Really?
So that I can like, I already feel disgusting after work. So I like to shower and like sometimes I have class. So I'll just go like in a break or something to go pick up whatever I ordered. And it could be different things. Anyway, before we completely end this, I do want to know like what you want to see in the future for time travel.
So here's the thing. I feel like this is a really cliche answer, but I want to see like my family, like my children, like my husband. I want to see. First of all, I want to see how attractive my husband is, and if he's not a piece of shit. And I want to see my kids, and I want to see what I actually named them, and I want to see what job I actually ended up having. Because right now,
the way we're
going. But yeah, I think the biggest thing, I want to travel to the point in the future where I see my kids. I want to see them.
Okay, so like how far in the future would you travel?
Well, I mean, in my mind right now, I want to have my first kid by like 28.
So like what, like 35, 40, 28?
I would say I would go to when I'm like 35.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like in my lifetime, I would want to go to when I'm 35 or 40. Just because like by the time I'm 35, I want to have my last kid, but by the time I'm 40, I want to see like that last kid be like grown. Kind of, it'll be like 5. But I want to see like that kid be like kind of grown up already. Yeah. To the point where they're like talking and walking and stuff. Just because I want to see like what my life came to be. And if I like, what if I don't have kids? Like I need to know that. So like I feel like 40 is a good time because 35 I can still have kids. 40 I'm pushing. 40? I know there's some people that have their kids at 45. We know some.
Yeah, you could like freeze your eggs and shit, but you have to be like a freaking billionaire to do that.
Yeah, but I feel like I would definitely like not be having kids after 35. So I want to see like myself around 40 where I know for sure whether or not I have kids.
Also, I know this is like a super shallow response, but like after I have all my kids, I want to see what my body looks like. Because like
after having all those kids,
listen, y'all, I want to have. Granted, 2 of them I want to adopt, so I want to have 4 kids. So
and you're surrogating 2 of my kids, so
this is true. So
because I'm adopting the other 2, I'm not giving
them. Yeah, in total, 4 kids will be coming out of me, right? I just want to see what my body looks like. I just want to give it a look. I want to see. I know that's super shallow and it shouldn't matter, but it matters to me. I just want to.
If it's not in my own lifetime, I want, well, who knows? Maybe even 40 isn't in my own lifetime, according to my midlife crisis
Jesus,
at 17. I'm dying at 34.
Morbid.
But I go to when I'm 40 and I'm in the grave. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Imagine you time travel in the future and you're dead.
I time travel to the future and it's all dark. I'm like, oh, what happened here?
You're dead.
I'll be like, oh, do I have to turn the dial back to 39? 38? Anyway, so I want to go to like, okay, this is just going to be like my stupid answer. I want to go to the year 3000, exactly, to see my great granddaughter, which is not accurate because great is only like 100 years, okay? We're talking like 900 years. It would be like my great. It just keeps going, okay? Grandchild. Okay,
you want to see if she's doing fine?
I want to see if my family, I want to see if I killed my family tree or if my family tree is still going.
Honestly, that just brought up a whole, I want to go to like my like fucking great grandchildren and see if they know about me and see the shit they say about me.
Are they putting me on their ofrenda? Me acting like I have a ofrenda, like I don't even have an ofrenda.
But I just want to know if they know how much of a bad bitch I am.
Right. I want to know if they knew how stupid I was when I was 21.
I want to know if how they like think of me. Like, yeah, that's your like great grandmother, Gabriella. She was a dumb bitch. Don't be like her.
I wonder if my family's gonna be like, that is your great grandmother, Kati. She's the one who went to college first. Like, that's what I want to hear. I want to see my future great million grandkids that I may or may not have if I have kids or not.
You know what I want? I want them to like see a picture of us and be like, oh, there's your grandma Gabby with her best friend Kati. Shit.
And we talk about this a lot too.
Yeah.
But we've never got to like great grandkids. We only went to like children and like maybe grandchildren. Like we never had great grandkids.
Never.
Not until now. Anyway, that would be the end of our podcast because we only have maybe 1 minute. Because I know we did not start recording immediately, and we only have like 2 minutes left in that like 40-minute time frame. So
yeah. Well, if you tuned in, why? But thank you so much for listening to this first episode. We'll try to keep these coming somewhat consistently.
Yeah. If not anything else, we'll at least record on like Tuesdays or Thursdays, Saturdays, something like that. We'll record on like
something like that whenever we want to.
Yeah, we'll try to keep it semi there.
Mm-hmm. My mom just walked out.
Hi, Maria.
Anyway, on that note, spread love, not hate.
Don't forget, nugs, not drugs.
Wipe your ass.
Yes. And that's the note we're ending on.
Okay.